Hi BookTube, Thea here, and today's video is going to be my February wrap-up. This month I read a total of 2 graphic novels, 4 short stories, 1 whole book, and almost done with the second book, which I plan on finishing up in the first week of March. So I'll just go ahead and show you guys what I read. I don't have copies of everything that I read. The short stories were ebooks, so I will be posting the pictures somewhere right around here, as well as the authors, because I don't remember the author's names off the top of my head. But I will go ahead and show you guys the comic books as well as the books. Let's go ahead and get started. The first book that I started reading in February, which I did not get a chance to finish yet, that I do plan on finishing up this week, is Arrest, a novel by June Gray. This is actually the sequel to Disarm. It picks up right where Disarm left off. Elsie and Henry do get married, and this book just follows the struggles of being a newly married couple, the things that they are going through, and some of the challenges that they face. So far, about halfway through it, it's very good. A little slower than Disarm was, but it is shorter, about 100-page shorter. So far, it is a 4-star read out of 5. Disarm was a 5-star, just because this book is a little slower, but I'm still really enjoying it. It's still a lot of stuff going on. It's a 4-star read. Definitely, you want to make sure that you read Disarm before you read this, since it does contain spoilers, and it does pick up right where the Disarm left off. The next book that I picked up, that I am going to go ahead and finish tonight, so I will be counting this towards my February read, and that is Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I'm actually going to be posting a full review on this book because I feel like I have a lot to say. With all the hype of this book, I was expecting to enjoy it a lot more than I did. It seems like everyone is in love with this book. I just didn't get that feeling from it. I still enjoyed it. It took about 150 pages for me to really kind of get into it, maybe. For me, personally, if I'm not engaged, it'd be a lot harder for me to enjoy it. There are some things that I did not like about this book that I will be focusing on in my review, and I am out for that. But didn't enjoy as much as everyone else did. I have a lot to say about it. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next 2 are the graphic novels that I read this month. I don't have a copy of the first one because I did have to return it back to my friend, but I do have 2 and go ahead and show you. And that is Moon Knight, Dead Will Rise by Brian Wood, and the artist is Greg Smallwood. This is a Marvel Universe book. The main character's name is Moon Knight. He dresses in an all-white suit and is a hero, but he's not really a superhero. He doesn't really have any special powers. He's just, knows how to fight. Kind of an assassin type guy. Still fights crime, still fights the bad guys. This was just okay for me. It's very, very different from any other kind of superhero or any other comic book I've ever read. So I did enjoy it. But for me, it was just okay, so I did believe I gave this 3 stars, the first one, and the second one I did give 3 stars as well. I will put the picture of the first one here, but this is the second one, which is Dead Will Rise. I believe the first one is just called Moon Knight. The first one is called Moon Knight from the Dead, and that's what the first one looks like. So if you're looking for something a little different, a little something out of the ordinary, I definitely pick it up, give it a try. But for me, it was just a 3-star read. The next book that I did, short story I read, I don't have a physical copy of that since it was an ebook, but I will go ahead and post the picture either here or here. And that is called The Girl in the Converse Shoes. This short story was about 6 to 7 pages. It had the potential to be a really cute story. It had some really nice characters that I feel like could have been, more, could have been, described a little bit more if it was longer. It's about a boy and his teenage boy goes to a Halloween party. Doesn't remember, the name of this girl that he meets, or he knows it's someone from class, but he doesn't remember who it is because she's in a costume. And the only thing he remembers was his shoes, wearing Converse shoes. So the next day he goes back to school and looks down to the ground, looks at all the girls trying to figure out who it was that wore the Converse shoes. Eventually, in the end, he figures out who it is, and it's just a cute little story. I feel like it had a lot of potential if it was a lot longer, but just because it was so short, it was really hard to invest in it, really hard to get into the story because it was only 6 pages. It feels like just as it's getting started, it's done. So I did only give the book 3 stars, but the next book is the Titanic Conspiracy. This book was a 2-star read for me. I did not enjoy it. The writing was terrible. It was only 6 pages. I felt like it was supposed to be, I was expecting to read maybe a point of view about an actual Titanic conspiracy. It was nothing like that. It was completely fiction. The writing was just terrible. The author literally ends the story with "now you know." Like if you've ever wondered, why the Titanic sank, now you know. No, you should never end something with "now you know." Like that just seems lazy. It seems unfinished. It just did not seem like the author cared at all. Being only 6 pages, it's really hard to tell a good story in 6 pages. But if you're wanting to write a Titanic controversy in 6 pages, it should definitely be better. There's so much potential to write something about the Titanic because there's so much about the Titanic, and the Titanic is so beloved, and the crazy obsession with why it sank, how it sank, all of the stories about it, the survivors and the people who didn't survive. And so there's so much to gather information from. There's so much out in the world about the Titanic that I was just expecting something completely different, and I was just completely disappointed. It was a waste of, it was just terrible. I don't recommend reading it to anybody. Even though it's only 6 pages, it felt like it was just a complete waste of a read, and I did only give this book 2 stars. The last book that I read in February, it was actually an audiobook, and that was Binge, Tyler Oakley's book that he wrote. I really enjoyed this book. It was a lot of fun. It had serious moments. It had really funny moments. It's definitely something that I enjoyed as an audiobook because Tyler did narrate it. If you're a fan of Tyler Oakley, definitely pick up the book. A lot about Tyler that I never knew before. He has a lot of things in his life that makes a lot more sense as to why he does what he does now. So it was really interesting. It was a fun read. I did give this book 5 stars. Even if you're not a fan of Tyler Oakley, I would recommend checking this book out. It talks about, an eating disorder. It talks about weight. And Tyler Oakley being, such a big YouTube star, you don't think about him having a beginning like, oh yeah, this 11-year-old kid was going through the same things that I was going through at 11. So definitely makes him more human. Definitely enjoyed it. Great read. 5 stars. Great job, Tyler. Love Tyler Oakley. Videos are great. The book was great. That's everything that I read in February. Let me know in the comments below what you read in February, and if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you are your opinions on Truth Witch. I know I'm going to have a lot of people who disagree with me once my review goes up, but let me know in the comments below. I'll leave all my social stuff as well, to all the good read links to the books that I read, and we'll be putting up quite a few videos this week. I have 2 haul videos to post, a March TBR video to post, and my Truth Witch review to post once I finish doing some editing on that. So I will definitely let you guys know on Twitter and Tumblr and Snapchat once those videos are up, and definitely keep an eye on those, and can't wait to see what you guys read in February and what you plan on reading in March, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!